for this soup, apparently what you do is you're going to take 1 pound of sausage, and we're going to cook this up. But while you're doing that, in your crock pot, you want to put in 32 ounces of chicken broth. And then it says just to use half a bunch of kale. So I just have frozen that I'm going to use. And then this one suggested that you use a ready-made potato onion mix. I'm just going to peel and chop up my own potatoes and onion. We'll see how this turns out, guys. I don't know. You guys seem to like my last one where I tried a new recipe. So we'll see how this goes. The Italian sausage going here. I'm going to go ahead and get that into the pan. It has to do 2 large cloves of minced garlic. So if you do the jar, half a teaspoon is a clove. So I have a 1/4 teaspoon here that I'm just going to add that to. Okay, so it says to go ahead and mix that in and get this all cooking. I'm going to peel these potatoes and chop them up and get them into the crock pot. Bag of potatoes that I had just maybe like 7 decent sized potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and add in 1 medium onion. I'm sure you can omit this if you don't like onion, or use a small one if you don't like a lot of onion. Then you want to drain and, you know, add your meat once you've drained it. And then it says to just give this a stir and make sure that there's just enough liquid to cover. If you have to add water, it says to go ahead and add water. Let's see. It looks like a decent amount. I mean, it looks like it's covering it okay. I just know that the potatoes are going to cook down, so I don't want it to be too liquidy. So I added in a half a bag of that frozen kale. I'm not going to do a whole bag. And I didn't add in any extra potatoes. So for me, 7 to 10 decent sized potatoes was good enough. So if you don't want to use the bag like she suggests, you can just kind of eyeball it yourself. But you just want to make sure, according to her, that the meal has a layer of liquid on top. So that's kind of what I'm assuming this is. Like I said, this is a Pinterest find. We'll see. We love the Zuppa soup from Olive Garden, so I'm hoping this turns out at least close enough. We'll see. I guess you guys are going to find out with us. But I'm going to pop the lid on that, and it says 5 to 6 hours on low. So we'll come back to it. Alright, so it's been about 4 hours. My potatoes are just about done. So I kicked it up to high because it says to put it on high. And then in a cup, we are supposed to, or in a bowl. Okay, 2 tablespoons of flour. Add a cup of heavy cream to that. And mix well. Ooh. I've never used heavy cream before, so we just mix that together, apparently. And then at this point you're supposed to season it. She says at the end to go ahead and season it with seasonings of your choice. She recommends salt, pepper, and then crushed red peppers. So earlier on, about 2 hours in, I added in some crushed red pepper and then just black pepper. So I don't know. I'm going to wait and see how that tastes before I add anything else in. But when you're done mixing this together, we need to add it to the soup. If you're using the fresh kale, to add it in now 30 minutes before rather than doing it at the beginning. So this is going to cook for another 30 minutes to an hour or so. And that is what the soup looks like. I will be back to let you know whether this was something I'd recommend you try. Is it close to Olive Garden's? Will we not do this again? Well guys, Erin and I both really like it. I can't say that it tastes exactly like Olive Garden, but close enough. It was good. We'll definitely keep this on our make again list. and it's so good. And then the homemade French bread just topped it off. So definitely make sure you have some sort of crunchy, crispy bread to have with it to dip inside. Oh, so good.